Hey, what's up guys, it's Mark from Musso Games, and I thought that I would just do something a little different this video. There are some videos like this on the internet, but they're all shot like really terribly, so I thought maybe I'd make one that's a bit clearer. Anyway, it's cleaning and fixing old retro systems, like this ugly thing right here. It's pretty hideous, but we can make it look better. Okay, so for this you're going to need a few things. You're going to need a small screwdriver. I recommend the Stanley set from these little mini screwdrivers here. You can find them at like Home Depot or Walmart, I think. It's like a few bucks. Pretty easy. Air duster. You should probably have one of those laying around if you care about electronics at all. Q-tips, Windex, like an old t-shirt, and a gift card or a credit card or something. I'm going to be using a Toys R Us rewards card today, and then optionally some pledge, and we'll get to all this as the video goes on, but this is what you'll need. So first I want to say something very obvious. You want to stay organized while you do this. So just make sure when you're taking out screws and stuff, keep them all in a spot and you remember where they need to go back into the machine. Anyway, to start off we have these 4 screws right here on the back. You just take your little mini screwdriver and you unscrew them. Okay, there we go. Some of them were easier than others. They should just fall out, and they did. So just keep those somewhere where you'll remember where they are, and then this should just come right off. And look at that, it does. What you're left with is the actual Genesis. Now, let's put that off to the side for right now. So we're zoomed in a bit here now, so we're going to show you exactly what to do with these little plastic pieces. This is held in by little hooks here. It's kind of hard to explain without you having a Genesis right in front of you, but basically you can just kind of pry them up out of there. Literally just held in with hooks, and it should just come right out. And then these are easy, just little clips, push them in. You can use the screwdriver to push it out, and you have the button here, reset button. And this is the power button. And there you go, and you can put all this off to the side as well. Dust tray. Just the same as, you know, any other screw in the world. Just unscrew them. I would just say, you know, make sure you remember which screw goes to the dust tray, dust cover tray, which screws go to the actual machine, and which screws go to the other stuff that you're gonna unscrew eventually. But, you know, I mean, if you're watching this video, you should probably be able just to see what kind of screws go to what. It's not that hard to remember. Okay, so now we got this. The camera wants to just take all of the brightness away because it's reflecting on it, but we can take care of that easily. So there are, let me count them real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 screws to get this metal sheet off. And that's what we're gonna do right now. Alright, after you get all the screws off from this metal shield, you just kind of pop it up. Should come right off. Just make sure you don't bend it or anything. And just put that off to the side as well. And now all we're left with is this beautiful motherboard. You guys might be wondering why I haven't taken this expansion port off yet. That's because mine seems to just be stuck. I don't know why. I'm going to try to take it off in a little bit, but right now it's stuck. Can't take it off. What are you going to do? Unfortunately, this is about as far as I can go with dismantling it because it seems to have these controllers screwed from underneath, and that's where the controller ports are, and I just don't have a way to really undo it any more than this. But you can still totally clean it just like this, and it will help your system. Most of the time, all the system needs is just to be cleaned real quick, and then it will work again. So let's get into the whole cleaning process. First is really simple, just an air duster, just the air dust can. Make sure you hold it straight up. I mean, it's kind of an awkward angle, but hold it straight up and just spray it, and just watch all the stuff that comes off this. It's pretty gross usually. Okay, well I don't know if you saw that, but where I am in real life, that was disgusting. Okay, so what you want to do is just take your shirt, just one layer of your shirt, take the card, just put it in there like that. There you go, you have a little squeegee kind of thing. Then you just take the Windex and you just kind of spray it directly on the card. You don't want too much moisture, but you want it to be damp enough to where you can tell there's definitely Windex on it. Then you just put it in this cartridge slot. And it's really simple. You just press down and pull it back out. And you just keep going throughout the whole thing and just do that. And that'll clean all the contact points, you know, to make it so your games will run smoother, so everything will work better, so everything will be more beautiful. And that's pretty much all you gotta do. Now next we're basically gonna do the whole thing exactly the way we just did that. We're gonna do it with Q-tips. So basically you just take some Windex. If you've ever cleaned like a cartridge game before, this should be familiar to you. You just put a little bit on the end. Just not a ton, you know, just a tiny bit. It's kind of hard to do this and stay in camera at the same time. So sorry. But anyway, just a little bit on one end of the Q-tip, and then you just go around the points where you think that you'd need to clean. You know, like obviously you don't really need to clean that plastic button over there, but you might want to clean the sides of this. Just any part that looks dirty, just rub it with the Q-tip. It'll be cleaner. Basically just clean everything that's dusty and then wipe it down with the wet side, then wipe it down with the dry side, and that should help you out. Anything that you see that has a bunch of dust on it, just clean it off. Just get that dust out of there. It's not good for your system, it's not good for you, it's not good for anyone. Make sure you don't leave a bunch of like cotton behind in the system, because that is just as bad as having dust in there. So, you know, just make sure, I mean, you can see what you're doing, so I wouldn't worry about it too much, but, you know, just make sure you're not doing more damage than good. The next thing we're going to do is clean this dust tray, and honestly it's the same exact way. Just wet one end of a Q-tip, have another end that's dry, and just wipe it down. Just wipe all the dust off of it. That's it. Put a little Windex on it. That's all you gotta do. Now here's the last and easiest part, is cleaning this metal thing, cleaning this plastic top, and cleaning all these plastic buttons. Very simple. Literally soap, water, sponge if you want, and just wash it just like you would anything else in the sink, bathroom sink, doesn't matter. Just wash them and then put them on a towel and let them dry. Pretty clean now. You know, I ran them under soap and water, kind of washed them off. I like to let them air dry just so I make sure there's no water on them when I put it back together. So I'm just gonna let them dry for a little while, and then I will come back and we'll put it all together and we'll see how beautiful it really is. Alright, so it's been about like 30-45 minutes, and everything is perfectly dry now, so let's put it all back together. So we're basically just going to work backwards from what we did, and we're going to first put this metal sheet back in its place. So it should just fit in like it did before all nicely. It does. We'll just take these 9 screws, screw it all back in. After you do that, get that shield back on. Let's move back to the faceplate, the front. All you want to do is put these buttons and stuff back in, and that's very, very easy. So first one is just this. This is like the simplest thing in the world. Just pops right in. Done. These back over. You have these 2 buttons, you have the power button on this side, and you have the reset button on this side. You can tell because there's a hole thing for the reset button, and there's a hole right there. It's easy. Just make sure, because you can put them in upside down, so just make sure you put them right side up. I mean, if you mess up, you can always just pop them back out, but save you the trouble. Put them right side up, and you will be happier with yourself. So there we go. There are the buttons all in and wonderful. Alright, now let's reattach the dust cover. Alright, now all we gotta do is just attach the bottom to the top again. That's very simple. Just flip it over, upside down. Press it in, should just fit in perfectly, as long as you didn't screw anything up. And then you just screw in the 4 holes, and then we will move on to the final thing. Alright, so the last thing is optional, but I feel like it helps a lot and makes everything look a little prettier. Basically, just take some paper towels, and you take some pledge, shake it up, just put a little bit on there, not too much, you know, just a little bit, and then just lightly go over the whole thing. And it really just makes it shine a little bit, just makes it look a little bit cleaner. It's a very simple thing to do, just makes everything look a little bit nicer. That's pretty much it. You just do it on the front, all the sides. Do it on the back a bit. Gets the dust off of stuff and just makes everything look a little bit nicer. And then that is pretty much it. Then we got a beautiful Genesis Model 2. Now, it does have like scuffs and stuff on it that you might see. There's not much I can do to get rid of that. Those are actually like deep scratches in the system, so I can't really do much about that. But they cleaned it up pretty well. It looks pretty nice. And I mean, it did work before, but you know, it might work better now. I don't know. So there's 2 reasons I did this video. 1, just because I like taking stuff apart and putting it back together. But 2, about 7, 8 times out of 10, a old system like a Genesis or an NES or something just doesn't work because it's not clean. So, you know, just take them apart and don't be scared of these things. They're like, relatively, they're very simple machines at this point, and you're not going to really hurt one by taking the plastic off of it. So just take them apart, clean them up, and usually they work after that. NES is a bit different because it has some problems that we'll get into in a different video about the NES, but for the most part, these things are easy to do. So I'm going to post some more videos about other consoles and stuff once I get around to doing that. But hope you enjoyed this one. Hope it helped if you need to clean your Genesis Model 2. Maybe you have a broken one and this fixes it. I don't know. But anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.